Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the Aston Martin Victor at Golden Max in its multiplayer season in Asphalt 9. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and check out my new Furum Clips channel. The link will be in the description, and that's where I'm going to be uploading some of the best moments from my videos and streams. And speaking of streams, I'm going to be streaming tomorrow, Saturday, July 10th at my usual time, 4:30 p.m. GMT. I hope to see you there, and enjoy these races. The Aston Martin Victor is a high-end A-class car that is the current Legend Pass car and the best Legend Pass car so far. It can go 240 miles per hour at max, with an average or slightly below average acceleration of 78, but with a definitely above average handling of 76 and nitro of 69. Pretty nice if you ask me, but not enough to make it the king of its class, or even a king really. It's one of the best cars in its class for sure, but there are just a few other ones that are decidedly better across the majority of tracks. You may remember when I made my max test drive video about this car that I said I got about half a second to a second better on every track with the Imola than with this car, which wasn't really surprising to me since the Imola is faster by a few miles per hour and its weird stability issues have since been fixed. But before the Imola stability was fixed, a lot of people thought this was going to be a better choice overall because of being more stable, but since that's been fixed, that argument cannot really be made anymore, and therefore I would consider the Pagani Imola and the Aston Martin Valhalla to be the kings of A-Class. They perform very similarly on a lot of tracks, with the Imola being 1 mile per hour faster and the Valhalla maybe just being the slightest bit more agile, both of which are very great cars, and unfortunately the Victor just lags slightly behind them. That being said though, it will definitely be a very good car. If you picked it up in its Legend Pass, then you will definitely not be disappointed. It should be pretty great for multiplayer if you're able to star it up a lot, and I hope I can get my hands on a test of this car in a regular multiplayer season as well, because, you know, these max free try seasons don't really allow you to see how it does in the normal multiplayer circumstances. It's basically a way for you to just test your skill against other players in this car and learn the car really well. That's what I believe these seasons are for, and also to get people excited about the cars so that they'll be more likely to go for them. That, of course, could backfire if the car drives very poorly, but that is why they do the max free try tests and not stock free try tests. I'm on to you, Gameloft. Now we're moving on to a race in Nevada. I'm always especially careful now when I say which track that I am driving on in a certain race, because of a previous video where I was on New York, but I said it was on Osaka, and because it was like the second race in the video, half the comments were just making fun of me for it. And because that happens when I make almost any little mistake, that just makes me all the more careful not to make the mistakes in the first place. But of course, they still do slip through occasionally. But when I wake up and I don't see any comments talking about how I did something wrong, I know it's probably a pretty good video. So currently the Zenvo TSR-S Grand Prix is going on, and the qualifier went much better for me than most of them do. I'd been practicing a lot, and I really do like driving that car. It's definitely a lot better than some of the other Grand Prix cars we've gotten, at least to drive at stock. But anyway, after that practice, I played a couple of the qualification rounds, didn't do that great, got like 9th position, then maybe moved up to 7th position. But then in my third qualification round, I just had this really banger run, and I ended up in the 2nd position, barely behind the first place guy, who was also in a 1-star car, and I finished the first qualifying round with that 2nd position, and I just kind of accidentally 360 there. Happens occasionally, sure, I'm not the only one. But anyways, 2nd position in the qualifiers. Really like the car. Unfortunately, still don't think I'm going to be going for it because I'm waiting and saving my tokens for the McLaren F1 LM, because the Zenvo will not be in the B-Class Elite event. Some people have thought it would be. I thought it would be for a while because its rank is pretty high, but the W12's is higher, and therefore the W12 will be probably in the B-Class Elite event instead of this Zenvo. That being said, I'm definitely going to try to get as far as I can in the Grand Prix. You should try to do that in every special event. I mean, just so you can reap the rewards without spending anything on them, because you can pretty much do that anywhere in the special event unless they require you to have a Legend Pass car to start, which thankfully the recent ones that have needed Legend Pass cars don't actually require you to have them to just begin the event, so you can get some rewards in them. And then in the Grand Prix you can play it, and as long as you like get qualified and do something in it, you'll get some rewards. Even if they're small, you wouldn't have gotten them otherwise, and you didn't spend anything to get them. I'm definitely going to do that in the Valkyrie event and see how close I can get to unlocking it, because I'll probably actually come closer to the number of conditions that I need than any other special event recently. Here at the end of this race, I don't know what happens, but somehow he slows down and I'm able to pass him at the very last second to come in first place. I thought for sure that I was going to come in second place all throughout that race. That was probably one of the most fun races of the season, just because of that ending where I still don't know quite what happened to him there on the roof. By the way, I figured out that you can pretty much tell who bought the Legend Pass this season, because in this event, if somebody has a decal, well, they pretty much bought the Legend Pass, because you can't put on decals unless you own the car, or if they've just changed the color at all, because the only color you can make this car is this weird, like, dark green color, which is honestly kind of gross looking if you ask me, and the Valkyrie has something similar going on where you can only make it this light gray or whitish color at stock. I don't really know why some cars have so many colors you can choose from at the beginning and other ones have almost none. I can only assume they're the official colors and that's what the manufacturer allows or something like that. Not entirely sure, but that would be my best guess. Unfortunately, I go a bit too high on this barrel and don't actually get the barrel, but thankfully I was far enough ahead that I was able to keep my lead, and thankfully in these seasons you don't have to worry about somebody catching up because everybody is at the same rank in the same car. That's one reason why I like these max retry seasons so much. I've said this before, but I just feel like they are some of the most skill-based seasons, especially the ones that are Ghost, which this one isn't, but the 15 seconds at the beginning definitely makes it more so, and I can live with that. But I just really like it where once in a while everybody has the same exact card, they have the same exact tool to use, and they just have to figure out how to use it better than everybody else, and that's how they get to the top of the season. Obviously, not everything should be like this, because then there would be no incentive to actually try to obtain the new good cars if everybody was going to be in the same ones. But it's fun to have these occasionally. I think the mix that Gameloft has been doing between them has been very good, so I can commend them on that. The multiplayer side of this game has still been very fun for me. And now it's time for my general review of this car. As I tested the car throughout the season, and I'm sure as many of you guys have tested it as well, I found it to be a very pleasant car to drive. It drifts quite well, the acceleration is probably the weakest point, the top speed's pretty good, the nitro is also pretty good. It's just a fun car to drive overall, and I can see why people wanted to buy the Legend Pass for it. It's not going to be an event king, but it should do some damage in multiplayer. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you have enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt and other games content, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!